some of the CrossFit training doing, the strongman training you're doing in the evening. Let's talk about through some of the structure of training that you do kind of go into a major competition like that.
Yeah. Usually my season finishes about September, October time. This year is a little bit later because I still got a couple more competitions to do this year. So I will start my preparation for the next season like in January. Like New Year comes in, I'll start my preparation. First 2-3 months, I'll just train the basic movements, lots of accessories just to get stronger. And then once the events are released for my first competition of the year, I will start preparing for that competition, like practicing the movements and getting stronger still with lots of accessory. As well as that, I like to train my conditioning, so I go to CrossFit Basingstoke. So I train there 5-6 times a week for CrossFit session, which I think really complements my training because I actually have noticed in the last 3 years I've been doing CrossFit, my upper body strength's just gone over the roof. Like I've added so much weight on my overhead press. It's just unreal.
So you think doing CrossFit has really made a big difference? Is it to do the technique, or is it to do the fact you've been training more consistently, or what do you think it is that's helped?
CrossFit is about repping, right? Repetitions. I don't think it's just the CrossFit. It's also my strength training and programming and everything. Because combination. It complements my strength training because I need to be able to be confident with my lifting when it comes to the strongman. But CrossFit allows me to learn how to adapt really quickly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you said you follow CrossFit.
I've done some CrossFit. Yeah.
So
I've never competed, but I've done it. I go to the gym every morning. So I used to go to CrossFit in Basingstoke with Nigel's place.
Yeah, that's where I go.
Oh, is it? That's where you go. Yeah. So
yeah.
Years ago, at the very beginning, I used to go there, do some of the early sessions. I'm talking years and years ago. I used to train with Nigel when he used to be over here, Wade Road, and then so I used to train. I'm talking years and years ago when they were first set up, I think.
Oh, they're still there. And
yeah,
Chris.
yeah. Are they still training there now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been all around the different gyms, but now I'm sort of very focused with James at Inner Athlete. I love James's place as well. So
it's very nice. I love going in there. Sometimes it's just too cold for my liking, but he knows that. But yeah, it's very different. James got a very different approach, and he's very caring too. And I like training under him. And to be honest, he's trained Farah, which was world's strongest woman. So come on, he must be doing something wrong. He's helped me to get to where I am now. Obviously thanks to the elite guys as well, because they've made me who I am, because I started with them, and obviously I trained my coach. I went from fitness experts, from boot camps to CrossFit, which just elevated my performance. So
I know a second ago we mentioned Farah. She was one of your inspirations. What do you think, watching what she did and the everything that you were able to see from afar, what sort of things do you think she's you were able to learn from her from watching?
Just how do you say that word?
Hard work, relentless.
No. I can't think of the word. Sorry, not persistent. Just kind of balance.
Okay.
Not balance. Consistency. Consistency. Yeah. Consistency. That's what
I mean. You're really training. So you're doing the mornings. You're doing CrossFit in the mornings, and you're doing strongman in the evenings. So
strength training. Yeah.
Strength training in the evenings. So there's a lot of consistency that you're building in.
And I used to coach spin classes twice a week as well, which I've given up now because it's just getting too much. Obviously, I've got 2 children, and it's just getting too much to try and fit everything in. So. Yeah, it's hard work sometimes. So yeah, running around, doing my training in the morning, dropping the kids to school, then going to work, coming back from work, pick up the kids from the school, start cooking dinner, and then being able to actually get out of the house to go and do my strength training, which sometimes takes 2.5 hours as well. So yeah,
it's a huge commitment.
Yeah,
it must be something that you really truly love.
I love it. Sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I get too tired, and when I've got lots of competitions, like last year, I had two back-to-back competitions within the 6 days, and I just got burned out, and my central nervous system's got a little bit fried, and I wasn't able to do anything properly for nearly 2 months. It was that bad.
Well, the training, especially lifting heavy, really heavy, like you do, it must have a significant impact on your body. So when you talked about your central nervous system having some issues, what happened there?
I did a competition which was quite heavy. Obviously, in 4 or 5 hours, you have to lift lots of heavy weights, and that affects your central nervous system. And I came back from competition. Obviously, I had to start running around the children, doing my old busy mum routine. Never really got time to recover after that competition, and going into the next one, and it's just hit me, and I burned out. I mean, I competed. I completed the competition. It was actually Europe's strongest woman in a natural strongman. Managed to come third, but it was hard work. I could just leave. I could feel my soul leaving my body throughout the day. It was that bad. Like I was in a pieces.
Was it just like an energy, just leap?
It was
just to completely depleted, or just
depleted, really fatigued. It's just I hated even thinking going to gym. And when I went to gym 5 days later, I remember it was a CrossFit session. It was first. And we had to do some sit-ups and wobbles, which I did really light ones. And then it was mile run at the end. And I nearly didn't come back. I nearly walked back. I've made it back, but I came back and I crashed and I started crying. It was that bad.
wow? I mean, that's total exhaustion, isn't it?
It
Must
was. It was. I just felt bad, and I felt like I couldn't do it. It was very mentally challenging, because I knew I could do it, but my body wasn't allowing me to actually perform, because it was telling me like, stop, you need to rest. It's too early to come back yet. So yeah, I was very upset.
So what had led up to that physical mental crash that you had? What had you been doing? What competitions had you been doing leading into that? And for you to have been overtraining, or for it to have that sort of crash?
So last year was quite challenging, because we just came out of the lockdown and all the COVID, and all the competitions were pushed up towards the end of the year. So I was competing, let's say, every 4 to 6 weeks, and I had England, Brits. So I had 4 competitions within like 2-3 months.
Wow.
And then I went into the 5th competition the week after the non-tested Brits, which was super heavy. So I was training heavy, lifting heavy, competition was heavy, came back, didn't recover, and it was just, I got fried.
Yeah. It's so much that you're putting on your body and your system over that period of time.
It is. I mean, I've never really thought how badly it can affect you, and obviously after that Europe's competition, I qualified for the World Championship. It was just week before the Christmas in Finland, and I could not start getting ready for it until like mid-November. I started actually lifting some weights. So I was quite pleased coming second in that competition. Yes, I did a couple of mistakes which costed me. I could have won, but my preparation was a roller coaster, because I used to come to the gym and I said, I can't lift it. Like lifting 120, 30 kilos deadlift was like lifting 200 kilos. Sometimes I couldn't get it off the floor.
So how did you then adjust? Was it just a matter of just taking some rest time, not training quite as regularly? And obviously that you're in main competition season, so I suppose that was also one of the things, is the fact that you had a really busy 3 4 months of competing.
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of just taking your foot off the gas a little bit and just kind of relax it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard work, especially when you've got children, and you can't, with the children you can't be selfish, No. It's very hard work. I mean, fortunately, my husband supports me quite a lot, and he cooks and he does everything around the house what he can to help me, so I can rest up. When he sees that I'm completely depleted, he just sends me to bed, like go and rest. I'll do the dishes, let's say, So I do have quite a bit of support, but sometimes when he is at work, I end up running around. I've got no choice. So yeah, it's hard to
It must be really hard.
balance everything.
It is hard. I mean, I've got a little one, Logan, who's 2, and it's just hard to balance just life with a child. Of course, you've got 2 children. They're older now, of course. How old did you say they were?
11 and 9.
11 and 9. Okay, so they're older than mine, but it's hard having children and then trying to have a career and then trying to have I wouldn't even call it a hobby. This passion that you have to want to compete. There's just so much going on, isn't there?
Yeah.
It sounds you got a really supportive husband.
Yes, and my friends, like my sister is here as well. She helps me, like if I need to look after the children, like I need to go to gym to train, so she'd be quite happy to have my children because she's got 2 herself, so they can play together. So she helps me quite a lot as well. And my friends, like sometimes I've got nowhere to have a children, and I don't want to drag them with me to the gym because it's not fair on them. So sometimes, my friends look after them, but it's not that often. I always try and work out the best way we can take turns with my husband. So so I do get time to spend with the children, and I'm not even talking about running after school clubs and their clubs, footballs, cricket, hockey and scouts, and running up and down. It's relentless.
Yeah. Sounds like you've got to have a really good support network, a good husband, and some patient children, probably, by the sounds of things.
Oh, my kids are very good, actually.
Yes.
Oh, sometimes they drive me mad, but like every children do, aren't they?
What are they like? Did they get to see you when you were at Arnold's this weekend? Did they go with you, or?
No, they were it was just too busy. I mean, I walked through the place and I was like, oh, get out of my way, I just want to go through. It was too busy, and I don't think it was the right place for children to be.
Okay.
And they are not that interested in it. They don't understand it that well. They came to watch me actually in Britain's Natural Championship. With my sister came as well. She brought them in, and they came 5 minutes. Mummy, how are you doing? And they watched me for 5 minutes and then went off. Oh, we are bored. So I tend to not to take them with me because it's not fair on them. It's something what I like, and I don't want to make them or force them to do something what they don't want to do. Or if I know that they're going to be bored there and I can't look after them because I need to focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah,
because
of course.
obviously lifting heavy weights, you don't want to get hurt. So you need to focus on what you're doing. So, yeah. I mean, I love them to bits, but it just puts pressure on everybody. It's easier if they looked after it.
Yeah, I to be honest, I'm the same with work and everything else, which is when I'm working, it's better just to focus and just get on. And then when you have the child to think about, naturally you're just thinking about the child, and there's no way. I've got a home, an office from home. It's really difficult because I might be working one day talking to some of my clients, and then I've got little Logan who needs support and attention. He's knocking on the door, and then you're torn, and it's very, very difficult. So I can completely understand. You probably want to keep those two things separate just so you can really focus on the day, because what you're focused on is, incredible and tough.
Yeah, they always wait when I come home from the competitions. Mommy, did you bring us a trophy? And they always go around like, oh yeah, I actually got 2 trophies which are the same, 2 different competitions. So one is silver and one is bronze. One is second place. No, one is first place and one is third place. Sorry. And my daughter comes to me, Mommy, you need a silver place now. I was like, no, I don't want a silver place. I want the gold one. I don't care if they're the same, but we want the gold. We don't want a silver. But yeah, bless her. Yeah, she's a little bit like me. She's quite sporty. Yeah, I think she's gonna be some sort of sports person.
Yeah. Do you think she'll follow at all in your footsteps? I mean, you were talking about, before in the first iteration, the first recording that we did, you were talking about, growing up in Slovakia and in your schooling in Slovakia, and you went off and did sort of 4 years it was, in the different schools, doing more athletics. Do you think one of the children might go on that direction with follow mummy?
I think my daughter will be. She's more interested in sport than my son. My son is actually very, very good in history. So, but he did ask for swimming or badminton. More or less. But my daughter more or less physical activity activity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like contact. Like Antonia, she is very. I want to play football. I want to play hockey next year. I want to try rugby. So yeah, I think she'll be more like myself. But then again, if they want to try it, I'm not going to stop them. If they don't want to try it, I'm not going to push them. So they can choose. So I don't want them to dislike something. I want them to do something what they like. So, and I will support them, whatever they choose.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what's worked for you, and throughout today meeting you, I can tell how much passion you have for what you do. You know, you smile talking about it. so that's the thing. I think the underlying fact here is that you've only been able to become, you know, a world champion and Britain's champion because you love what you do. You enjoy every part of it. It sounds like you enjoy the training, you enjoy the diet piece, and then you love getting up there and competing.